I just know it's like life is negative and positive. So like if you have good, there's going to be times where there's going to be bad, and like you can't crumble over that.
I know.
And like I mean some of the really lows I've been in, at least in like this whole business venture, afterward I went to like highs.
Yeah.
So like, and then so like then everyone plays a dumb game of THC, and then
instead of the best weed.
Yes, and then like you have a bunch, and then eventually you have a bunch of garbage weed that's tested at 30%.
I can see your energy, and I'm waiting on your frequency to rise. Before you interact with me, before you collab with me or try, better get up on your frequency if you're trying to see me. Share the same space or breathe anywhere near where I be.
Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills. Well, it's helped me feel okay about my shitty social skills. It doesn't make my social skills better, but it sure does make sitting in that awkward moment in a social interaction a lot more bearable. You know, that moment where no one in the group has anything left to say, and you desperately want to yell at all of them, just say something. Being high makes that hilarious and not torture.
Yo. It's Ellevan from Anger Town. This plant just helped me chill out. Found focus. Found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective. More progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. Whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And that's Ralph.
And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners.
I'm your host Ellevan.
My name is Winnie, and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness.
And today, oh my God, I feel like it's a huge piece in the stone wall of faces of friends, of the catalog of special important humans. Today, our guests, okay, I'm going wild right off the side. We have a beautiful family, man. We have one of our favorite growers, one of the most like refined names in the games when it comes to fluffing these buds up, you know? He's part of several brands that we're going to talk about. Please put your hands together, my man, Ben from Treez.
Amazing.
Bro, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here. I think that's the best intro I've ever gotten.
No, I was just freestyling. This is just me. Oh, and a little context for those just tuning in, as it is the top of the episode. Duh. I almost just had a moment when there was a ghost in our recorder thing, and Ben was the one to calm my ass down. So This man is filled with so much positivity, mental fortitude. It shows in his work. It shows in his story. We're going to get into it.
Also, when I tell you to calm down, not the same reaction. So that was a nice little thing for me to observe today. Thank you for jumping in there.
You gotta be subtle.
That's totally true. When it comes to like shifting someone's perspective, you can't just be like, choose something different.
Yeah. It's like when I'm smoking bad weed, it's like, it's not trash. Just it's not for me.
Yeah.
What I say is,
Exactly.
well, when I have your weed to go off of and Primo and the drip, and that's what I'm smoking like usually. And then I was at Sticky Nugs, and I'm not gonna say the name of the big brand because I'm not trying to throw shots. But the rep was there. And he like breaks out a bud and gives it to me, and I did not make friends that day. I was like,
I've grown some trash weed in my day.
but what I say is, hey, you know what? You're putting weed in people's hands. That's my polite version of this is gunk. Is at least because it's got to go on a lower price point. Anyway, how are you, brother?
Okay,
Good to
hold-
see you.
When you say that you've grown some trash weed in
don't
your
believe you.
in your day, no, is that because of no experience, or is that because of mistakes made during the process? Like,
Both.
where-
I
okay.
don't think, like I've always said, like I don't think like I'm a well experienced grower, even though lots of people have told me. I just feel like even when I'm talking to like good growers, like even like Primo,
Shout out.
shout out. I don't feel like I feel like they know all the terminology, and like when I
Right.
like when I'm talking to them, I get intimidated. But like how I learned was in my basement, watching a lot of YouTube videos, trial error. So that's another one. You got a lot of trash. I mean, even when you're pheno hunting, sometimes you just grow trash. Like it's just not a good pheno.
Is that your phone, Rob? Can we turn that on silent? Sorry,
I kind of like it.
I like
There's
it,
like
but
something magical
once or
happening
twice
in
is
the
fine.
background. But, so I can resonate with that because like I'm an actor but I'm not like a cinephile. So sometimes when I'm talking to other actors and they know like the craziest history about movies, and it just almost makes me like feel like I'm not validated as an actor in that moment because I'm like, fuck, I don't know like the history or as much as you do. But there's a feeling, I think, with acting and probably with growing in general, even with, like vegetables and shit. Like I think that there must be some type of relationship that you're creating with these live
I think
things,
so.
right?
I do really think it's more than just the numbers, the analytics. I think it has a feel, like, and you can see, okay, like, even like I use grow charts to see like how and monitor my whole grow, and sometimes my charts just like look really, really wacko. Like, you look at the plant and it looks really, really healthy, and like, so like I always just, if it's healthy, I just continue doing what I'm doing. And
Right. So when your growth charts are looking wacky, what does that mean for some? I don't know. I don't understand. Like, what's a growth chart?
so like I monitor my EC in the soil and my moisture content in the soil. Those are the ones I really, really like to like monitor the most.
EC is
like your nutrient or your salts inside
Okay.
the soil, like how strong it is in the actual the media. I think the correct term is. And but there's also a factor with like your VPD, so that works in conjunction to your temperature and your
That sounds like something you tell your friend on a Tuesday.
Humidity.
I got VPD, bro.
But yeah, all of those things that constantly I'm looking at multiple times on my phone, because I have it live feed on my phone, and it also has arms on it.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
sometimes, like for instance, I like growing in cocoa, but I mean, because of height restrictions in my facility, I grow in rockwool, which buys me a little bit more space. That's truthfully why I like to grow in it.
Oh, word.
I mean, it is cleaner, definitely. It may be a little bit easier to like do stuff with it, but I love growing in cocoa. But in rockwool, it's a little bit harder to keep the moisture content high enough, because sometimes I'm registering 0. Like if you lose the moisture, then you're done. But you got to keep going. You're not going to throw out the crop. So like it's just now, instead of having it at like 30% to like 50% moisture content, now I'm riding like 30 down, go all the way down to 15, and like I've even had some sensors hit 0 because of how much dry back it is, but there's nothing in there. Like, so like that's what I mean. Like it looks bad, but like
Can't
the
always
plants,
trust it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
plants look great. Like buds are swelling up. Like,
Yeah. What was your first experience with weed? Do you remember?
Yeah, when did you start smoking weed, bro?
I was, I think, in grade 9.
Yep. That's across the board.
And funny enough, my buddy had this really weird looking bong, and like I smoked out of a bong, and I remember it being freezing, and like no one could light because it was a big lighter like this, and like nobody could do it. It was freezing. No one had gloves, but I remember like after I smoked it the first time, I'm like, wow, this is great, and just like never looked back.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was your experience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what about you guys? Huh?
I smoked weed like with my criminal ass friends when I was like 12 in grade 7 for the first time. I had my buddy Malcolm hold it for me because I was scared that my mom was going to catch us at the mall, and she did. And she knew, but what are you going to do? And just my dad used to smoke pot, so my mom used to be like, that's a dirtbag drug. That makes you do nothing. It's like, no, people with no motivation do nothing. And sometimes those people happen to smoke weed. Just like, it's like you see someone stepping out of the dentist and you're like, they have dress shoes on. You're like, people who go to the dentist wear dress shoes. It's like, relax. So I had a really bad, but my mom was all like champagne, cocaine. So she was all like, gotta keep it moving. So I was like, nah. But then I'd still smoke weed and feel guilty about it. Once in a while. And then me and Winnie, when I really started smoking full time, is when me and Win, a couple of broke kids living in Vancouver, wanted to go to the equivalent of the X.
Or the CNE.
It's called the PNE out there. And it was going to be like $100, $150.
It was just not what we were dropping back then.
2010, bro.
Yeah.
That's $150. You know how much groceries that is?
Yeah.
So we said, fuck that. Let's go call that crazy Bud, the Oracle guy, who like yelled at us when we were doing a theater piece outside. And he gave us his card. He's this crazy guy. And we bought like a dime bag off him and fucking went to the beach and kind of fell in love on this new adventure.
Dude, it was such a magical experience. Oh my God. I was just like, it was summer in Vancouver, ocean.
On English
And
Bay.
I was like laying down, and we were doing like our own thing. We were like off in space. And I was laying down and I looked at a condo building and it looked one-dimensional.
Like a
I still
flat
remember
piece of
it.
paper.
It looked like I could go over to it and just like push it over. And I was like, it's like my world changed in that moment, honestly. I was like, everything that I think I know, I don't, because I'm seeing this in a way that doesn't make sense in my intellect.
It's
like,
new.
Yeah, it was fucking cool. Weed's the best.
We're like 2021. You serve the weed so well because you create beautiful harvests. Obviously, I want to get into energy. You said you're an intuitive grower, so I want to get into that as well and watching it. That's fascinating. But you choose cultivars that are educating me. As you, like, I've never heard of horchata before in weed. We met because of the banjo. I want to tell that story in the Cognoscente flight.
Yeah, we're
Like,
fans.
You are
Cognoscente.
you are the player on the field, on the court, that or whatever your favorite sport player is, that you're like, that one. Like, I don't even know them personally, but by how they're performing, that one.
I just also want to shout out real quick because like this made me feel like a fancy bitch, when I got Cognoscente. I was like, I felt like I was
Well, that's what we
like
want
grabbing like a nicer bottle of wine or something for the
No,
weekend.
it's a
It was
champagne.
cool.
It's $80 for 6 grams. It's a fucking champagne. It's a
I
champagne.
think I paid $100.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fuck. So,
Depending on what dispensary I did.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I went to one of the cheaper ones or whatever. And
But it is a cool experience.
But that's the
like
thing.
especially for like people who are interested in weed and different flowers, and
It's worth it. And also look at the great things that can come from investing in great things.
And especially like who else is in it? Like
Right?
Platinum grapes,
by
baby.
Organic Craft.
Organic Craft. I always break their balls because I showed them love, and like they were always just like, thanks. And I would be like, you fucking guys, you're great.
But Waffle Bites,
Who's that by?
they're cake.
No. But Organic Craft is so good. Platinum grapes. That's what. Okay, so
Habitat.
that was the romantic story. Is I got this betting on Platinum grapes because I knew how good it was. Also, it started at Mother, and I fuck with the Mother guys too, like Brian and Adam.
Oh yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah, it started at Mother, the Platinum grapes. And so I got it because I'm like, okay, if Platinum grapes is going to allow itself to be, or if like Cognoscente is going to put something of that consistent quality together, I'm going to trust that. And just like I said, we like to be boozy bitches. I like buying a Johnny Walker. Like when I drank, I bought a Johnny Walker instead of the JB. Like, fuck it, drink something good, have something good, smoke something good, invest in yourself, you know?
100%.
And so I did, and then of course the Platinum Grapes was banging, but I'd smoked it before, so I just like fucking blast through that like right away. And I learned that banjo, right? It was a sativa, right? So I was like, cute. Like most of the time I'm like cute. It's like fighting a 5-year-old, and I'm like, good for you. Like growing some weed, that's some weed, you know. But so I actually saved yours for the next day because I knew it was sativa, right? So I smoked the other one, the Waffle Bites. The Waffle Bites didn't bite. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like for me, like Platinum Grapes, I was like, okay, well, so
Not as memorable as the other two.
it's a
for
good
sure.
weed though. I'm not throwing shots. It's a good weed. It just didn't snack me. But your joint the next day, like I could not laugh at it because it like got me high, but I was like in love with it because it had an uplifting feeling of focus. I don't think there's another weed that I can focus as well on yet that I've tried.
Which is probably why
period.
it's helpful, because for you, sativas, I think, make your the stimulation, the overwhelming stimulation, even more for
There's
you.
enough. I'm a sativa. If
Yeah.
I was a plant, I'd be a sativa.
Yeah.
I'm enough.
Yeah.
Like I'm already cocaine. Like
So it's pretty cool that you can found something that like doesn't like activate that anxiety.
So I had a complete impartial, just like, hey, whatever. You know, if Platinum Grapes is all I get out of this, I'm not gonna cry. Like it's investing in weed. But then, bro, blew my fucking mind. Got on the Grizzly Gram right away, like, what the fuck? And then I think, was it Treez? I think I tagged, and then
Yeah, you did.
So this
That's
leads
how I found it.
blessing. So I mean, this is
I remember
Did you-
too that day you're like, you got, like he was like giving me a lecture. He's like, you got to find out who grew it. You got to find out who grew it. it's not just enough to be cognoscente.
Yeah,
like, I want to know.
we were that early in, right? Like it was like people were still just going, oh, this is grown by Cognoscente, or like this is grown
People
by
would
Ghost
assume
Drops.
that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it, really.
Because you wouldn't know. So I'm like, no, I got to do the research to
I think
figure
it
it out.
says trees on it.
Is it good? Treez Botanical, that's right. So shout out these guys for like putting that together and creating that access point and bigging up your growers.
Shout out to Adil from Black Market.
A deal from Black Market? Let's go!
He's definitely someone who helped me out. Actually, well, I
He's
mean,
such a fucking sweetheart, man.
I have tons of shout outs that help me get to it. Like,
Please.
But like, yeah, but I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, but no, so that led perfectly into your life partner. You guys rock together.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Yes.
The number one shout out.
Shout out. Number one, shout
queen
out.
of
If-
trees.
Without her, I definitely wouldn't be able to do what I love.
Oh.
She looks after 3 beautiful children.
Yes.
And like
The
yeah.
partnerships are strong in cannabis, man. Like the
Yeah.
people that we've had on, even like there's some good support systems around people, which makes sense. I guess
Family.
you need it.
I feel myself drawn to people who are in the business with their family. Like
Yeah.
Primo like takes a story from his mom. You know, like you're out here building it with your wife. Like you put your
Drip.
Well,
Drip has
and, and my family too, because my dad comes out and helps out every weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man,
my mom would like, especially in the beginning, like helping me out. Like,
No,
so big shout out to
yes.
them too. Like,
yes,
Shout out.
Yes, the fam, and you can feel the love. I feel like you can damn near taste the love. You can damn near like feel the steady watch when people start a drug business or start a restaurant or start a whatever, and it's kind of put up like rafters and just like a plan, and that's fine to sometimes get big stuff done, like oil. Like, you know what I mean? Like motor oil. Fine, have a factory for that. But when you're ingesting this into your body, there has to be this like core of care and love and passion and focus and attention that you can't fake. You can't fake that funk. Like, I don't know, like it's something beautiful. I don't know if it's in the energy
You're
of the
an
growing
artist.
or the you're basically
you're being
you're
like,
cultivating, you
yeah.
are creating, you are and it's
Appreciate
beautiful. So and that the fact that you're in it with your wife and the energy isn't pulled. When your whole family got your back and they know what
Yeah.
you're doing and you're focused and you are such a positive person. That was we talk about that too. Your fucking mental fortitude. I want to know what you're reading. this week. But yeah, that's really special, man, and really powerful. And yeah, I want to give you those flowers for giving us those flowers, because you're really putting your heart into this shit, and it fucking shows.
I appreciate it. But one more shout out too, Jess Treez, who works there with me.
Yes.
And also Kathy, who comes with my dad to come to clean everything. Like, this is all like I can't do this stuff without like these certain people.
Yeah.
You deserve the support,
Hey.
though, but
Yeah.
bless you guys
Thank
for
you
the
for support. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, so when did you start growing, and why have you stayed growing?
So
Because you had some times.
Yeah, so it started when I was actually working construction as a trim carpenter, and I started with a 2x2 grow tent. Actually, well, I grew outside for years before this, but like
No
For like
risk.
personal use, or
yeah,
yeah.
personally,
No
so-
risk, no overhead kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I was growing like trees, like in like crazy.
Hey.
But like, I mean, it was outdoor. But when I actually started indoor, like with like where I had to control everything, was it's probably about I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago now.
Okay. Wow.
To be honest,
Almost a
I don't
decade.
remember how long it was. To be honest, but I started a 2x2x4 tent, and with like the cheapest LED, and then like, I got more. I started my room in my basement started getting bigger and bigger, and I just rammed it with a bunch of tents before like you could barely get through, and like there's like all these vents going outside with carbon filters, and like just praying that the neighbors don't smell anything. And then yeah, once I started doing that, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I got really into it, and then I started working with my brother, who's a quite successful builder. And
Oh fuck! The radio station's back. Do you hear that?
If it's there in the back, just let it go.
yeah, that's
Okay,
I'm
okay.
cool with it.
Okay, sorry.
It's good.
Keep going.
And then I just didn't really like construction, so
Okay.
I mean, it was great. Like, it wasn't a bad, especially working as a trim carpenter. Like I was working across the street.
Yeah.
you know, and
That's pretty sweet that you know how to do that skill.
yeah, and it definitely
or that
helped.
you have that skill.
Because it was definitely very grateful for all of that. But
Comes in handy later on when you're building grow rooms.
yeah, that's
You guys
true.
have such a beautiful space now, though.
yeah.
It's
so-
really cool.
So like that just fell into my lap, and so we got the building, and then we
What
just
do you
built it.
mean?
Fell into
Just
your
fell
lap.
into
I'm
your
like,
lap.
well,
Because like
as things do.
somebody was selling it used to be a welding shop, and I was there at the right time, and
Nice.
The universe was assisting you.
yeah,
You're getting
I-
some alley-oops.
I do think so.
Yes.
100%. And
Ah.
Do you consider yourself intuitive when it comes to making choices? Do you weigh pros and cons?
I honestly I weigh pros and cons, but truthfully, and this is something I think about a lot now, I go with my gut.
Yeah.
Like, it just like if
Do
it
you,
doesn't
like,
feel right,
yeah.
I don't
Can't
do
disobey the gut.
it. Yeah.
Does that happen quickly for you? Do you know right away? Is it something that you're like, or do you need to stew on it for a while?
Truthfully, I think we all really know right away.
I know, I agree.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck, that's
if you
so
have-
annoying
if
sometimes.
you have the feeling in your stomach, you
Yeah.
know what it's. And like sometimes I have that feeling and I go for it, and then I'm completely wrong. You know, like,
What the fuck's that about?
I don't know, but maybe that was the lesson you needed to learn,
Hey.
which sets you up for like 10 years down the road. You know.
So you have that infinite faith. That's what I'm saying. You have this mental fortitude, but really it's a heart of courage that allows you to explore.
Yeah.
Because you take a shot, you miss, you get up. Forgive yourself, like keep moving. That's lit. Why do you know that?
Yeah, why?
What happened?
Is that? Do you think it's because you've been smoking weed since you've been grade 9?
Or is your parents taught you to read? Or like, truly, why did you have that attitude? When did you arrive on that?
I don't know.
You've just become like that? Is it listening
Maybe
to
you're
Eminem?
just an earth angel.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I really try and like. I like to be. I don't like negative thinking. So like if someone's really negative around me, I don't like to be around them. And truthfully, I really got like this, getting into like this business,
Yeah.
because I can't tell you the amount of people who just like is very negative to even where I was trying to go. So
It
Yeah.
will wear you out.
yeah.
There's moments of frustration, but if someone's constant mind is the default is to be suspect or dramatic or untrusting or just getting focused, just like even if it's not being outwardly negative, just if someone's mind state is in a place of, as you say, doesn't exist. So literally you don't understand, Ben doesn't understand that word. So when you guys hear it, you'll understand, but it just bleeps out in his head. I'm saying, oh, you can't even hear it. You can't hear it. But yeah, if someone's mind is constantly in that shitty fucking space, it destroys the momentum of those around them.
Yeah.
And you're right, and it sucks to trim those people. Trim, huh, Treez?
Yeah.
But you got to.
Yeah.
You got to just like kind of go.
100%.
So basically, you don't have any friends either. Nice.
Do you
No, I've had some people who I know them in my head, and you always felt like they actually believed, like there's certain people that and like there were certain people who just like no.
Yeah.
And there were people who I thought would be really, really against it, but once I did it or like even was pursuing it, they were never like, they were actually like rooting for me.
Yeah.
And then it's vice versa. People who I thought would be supportive weren't supportive.
Yeah. I know.
So, like,
Isn't
it's
that
very-
so interesting?
Yeah,
What you see
and, like-
and what you get sometimes is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, what's
it
with
is.
that, eh?
Yeah.
Humans. So unpredictable.
Do you like, I don't know how often you find yourself in a position of feeling emotionally or mentally challenged or exhausted, but when that happens, is like, do you have an inner dialogue with yourself? Is that something, or is it just like cut off David Goggins?
go.
I am now happy.
No, I honestly, I do truly like I had this didn't happen overnight, and I still struggle with it. So I don't want to make it seem like I portray like, oh, I'm like, like I say I can't every now and again. My daughter's schooled me the other day, so I'm like, Papa, you can't say I can't. So like, I honestly, that was amazing. Like, beautiful.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you got to take that advice. Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I just know it's like life is negative and positive. So like, if you have good, there's going to be times where there's going to be bad, and like you can't crumble over that.
I know.
And like, I mean, some of the really lows I've been in, at least in like this whole business venture, afterward I went to like highs.
Yeah.
So like I honestly think
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't want to sound all kooky and stuff, but like I really do think it's like you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
So like whenever something's shitty that's happening, you got to know the good is just like spring is around the corner.
But you got fire in you too, so I resonate with that and how you roll. It's also dope that this man knows as much Eminem as I do. Almost. This is crazy. We geeked out on him, but yeah, you also spit that fire. Like Primo told us a story. Like when you guys are on stage together, like you're not timid either, and that's what me and Winnie also kind of go back and forth on, because she's Mrs. Winnie's better than everybody. Everyone knows that. Like, she's just too good. She's too good for this earth. Like, she's so sweet. Like, 100%. For me, I do wrong sometimes. She doesn't. Like, I'm like, oh, a rule? Fuck you. Like, perfect. Like, the bad kid? Perfect. Everybody's saying it. But, like, you got the heat, too. So, like, that's a good balance as well. Right? So, you're living in authenticity. So, you're staying positive, but you say shit like it is, because it's not always like I don't know how to be just on peace all the time either. Like, because I appreciate that you're saying shit gets negative sometimes, and you don't have to react to it, but you can fucking respond to it, and it's okay to have opinions. It's okay to have some fire under your ass and keep moving, right?
100%.
It doesn't always look like happy day all the time, even when you are in focus mode and things are going well. It's like. You gotta put out fires. You gotta, or just like, you assess the state of a market in a certain way, and it either pleases you or doesn't, and like it's okay to like build out of that and alchemize that.
Well, my issue is just the THC. It's like that is what I think Primo was talking about. It's just the way the whole industry is with. And like I know I should be careful saying certain things with like at least the way like OCS and the way everything works.
No, but that sounds like bully bullshit. That sounds like,
it is. No.
Gang
I'm just I have to state that before.
No,
so like
I agree, but
like
let us say that for you next to a grower. Of like, you see how you make the fucking growers feel, homie? Like, y'all need to chill up, mafia boss.
But they demand. I'm gonna start from scratch. All hypotheticals. So they demand 30% plus or high THC, and if high THC is 30% plus.
What are you losing out on?
Yeah, and so like then everyone plays a dumb game of THC, and then
Instead of the best weed.
Yes, and then like you have a bunch, and then eventually you have a bunch of garbage weed that's tested at 30%. I just
it's not the right
and,
way
like,
for
no, but, like,
education, and
it's-
people actually people in the industry actually want education, and I think that we're feeling constrained on like giving that education
Yes.
on a more public level because we will be reprimanded potentially if you do. So it's like, I think we're in this weird push and pull.
Yeah, but there are some strains that are very good, especially like these brands do produce very good 30%.
Yeah.
But like,
No, for sure, but no, I like a 17% with
Of
a
course.
with a high myrcene and a linalool, and we need that language to express because cannabis is so much more than what. Here it comes. Who's managing these systems put in place? Alcohol. It was the tobacco and alcohol. They measured alcohol percentage. They fucking just swapped those numbers. They said this is going to be our point of sale information sway tool on your average consumer, and it has become, and that's shitty because instead of getting a beautiful lava cake, they're getting a fucking Subway scientist, and they're smoking their fucking in the front, and they can't focus, and they're feeling all cracked out and buzzed because that's what the market gave them, and they forced them to get this like crack mentality. And
it's not
like,
generous to new users.
It's
for
not.
sure.
No, it's not nice to the market for the selection points, and it's not right to really do to the growers either. You're telling them to focus on something that's it has none of your fucking business. None of your fucking business what percentage it is. How about that?
all those crazy strains that everyone always talks about, like in the States or like
They're like
they-
19%.
Yeah, they don't even hit like anywhere close to 30.
That's why there's no pinks on the market, the drip said.
Yeah, I
Because-
know. I've heard that too. Pinks don't even test. Well, naturally, pinks don't test high.
But they're high in like linalool and what's that? The what makes the pink taste terpene. It's a specific type of terp, and like people need that for their healing, and it can't even access
I
This
the
is
forgot
fucking-
about that
This
term.
is actually Carmel's pink.
Humulene. Is it humulene?
It's lilul, linene, lilul,
Linalool?
we'll look it up. It's the
Okay,
pink.
let's talk
Anyway.
about this weed that you have in front of you,
man,
please.
You fucking grow. You got bangers for bangers. You're like the Dr. Dre. You're like the man in the shadows as well. The shout out Cognoscenti that put your trees on there.
Give
Yeah.
us the
But
lowdown.
tell us who you're.
And also, you're welcome. This guy is the reason right here. Just
So like,
that was a bit of a Kanye moment, but
big shout out to Carmel, because when I was really like in the trenches, and like there is like I don't know how much longer I was going to be going. They actually were the only people who believed after like I got a hold of them. And actually, big shout out to Mark. And he knows who he is. He works for Jupiter. He connected me with Carmel. And like,
Thank you,
anyways,
Mark.
yeah, this is, and like, it's crazy how like certain things happen, and I can tell you the before. But anyways, big shout. So like I sold a few batches to Carmel, and like because of Carmel, I actually was able to get into this Cognoscente because like just the resume of Carmel and how like great they've done.
yeah,
They got me in here, but I was actually released first on the market because I had product that went to them. So I actually, this is what was my first drop on the market, like actually sold. And then, but I've done a lot of work, and I currently do work with Carmel. And
Yes.
Big shout out to Billy, Drew, Roey, Dustin.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is
Good
a
company.
testament right here of the quality of what you're doing because these they're great, really great brands. So congratulations
Yeah.
for that.
That's a mighty
that's-
lineup. You're gonna keep putting up great mighty lineups. I'm excited. You know, you find a great producer, and then you go and I know that song, and you go and listen to all the hits they produce, and it's like you learn of Ben, and then you say, oh, and you start to know the back end of the game. It's just like the music industry. So well
100%.
done, man. That's so fucking awesome. It must feel amazing to grow in this space. It's a young space too.
Yeah, it is. I think it's like it just started. What? It just started grade 1. How
Yeah.
old is-
Exactly. It's like
Pretty
5.
much, yeah.
Yeah. Just started grade 1, man.
I like that
September.
terminology. What does success look like for you?
Truthfully, I keep pushing the ceiling up, but
Yep.
like from where,
You will keep pushing.
yeah, and like I can go on about like some things. I have actually some exciting news. But
Let's-
anyway,
Are we
So-
dropping some exclusives?
but like, I personally think, like from where I was working, like it's so hard to make it in this space, and I kind of like now I appreciate the hard, like I love it. Like, anything good doesn't come easy.
It's like you did some bodybuilding
yeah,
especially
especially because I listen to my gut and not like a lot of people telling me don't do.
Yeah, you stay
And
in
like
your zone.
I want to be extremely humble. I am still very early in this.
Of course.
So I know I have a lot of work to do, and then a lot of like I'm not just gonna stay put and like kind of like be a flame that kind of dims out. I have big aspirations.
Good.
Like I'm going to the moon, but like
We see it, man.
I'm
No,
off to the moon.
no, that's it.
that
No,
was a good rip.
It doesn't have to have a definite ending place. That's it. That's the energy of consciousness
Yeah.
in life, and it's just like
And that's a beautiful, just like
keep that energy.
it's not really a goal. It's more just like
You're gonna move on.
a general attitude.
That's
Fuck,
what
I like that.
It's expansive.
I stopped goal setting. I used to be crazy with New Year's resolutions. I used to be like, fucking this year is the year.
But you should have daily goals.
Yeah, I agree.
and they're consistent. So basically, your intention is just consistency, right? Like you can't control. Like me, I can't control really like what a song does, like or like what a movie does when it drops. Or you can't really. You can market, you can push,
I disagree.
but
Let's hear it.
But here's the thing. Just let me finish my sentence. Is you just have to keep producing, keep making,
100%.
keep putting them out. And that's like what I mean, like building a catalog. I just mean like in terms of if a song is gonna like blow the fuck up, it's gonna blow up. Like there's gonna be no stopping it. And it's just like about keep putting up, keep putting up, keep putting up. And then the catalog will take care of itself. You know?
And like quality, it's the whole quantity quality situation, but quality gets way better with quantity.
100.
I mean, listen to the songs I just dropped to the ones I dropped 4 years ago. It's
I'm
like there's no
using you
contest.
as my.
Yeah. But back to, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on controlling the success. Let's absolutely do it.
So
I'm down.
I think you do always have control.
Well,
You
with
said
my
you-
mind and with my actions, for sure.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, if T.I. is going to tweet a certain song of mine, I can't tell him to tweet this album because I think it's the best. He's going to resonate with some song I do in 5 months and like it because he actually likes it and retweets it.
Yeah.
And it's it. I mean, but I feel you. I mean, it's always just make it better, make it better, make it better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I feel, no, it's like, yeah.
And like
that's,
I agree with what you're saying,
Mhm.
but like I mean I think as soon as you say you don't have control, or
it's a
anything,
good, no, I
lose
almost,
it.
yeah, you lose it, and
No.
now you let other people control you. I know it sounds kooky.
No, I'm talking about God. I'm talking about like give it up, like faith. Like stop trying to think. Like I know some artists who like dump all their savings into like marketing one song because they feel like they have to make it now. Whereas I'm like, I'll be here next year. Like
you
it's like
go.
I'll still be
Right.
putting up a song
go.
next year, and it's gonna be 10 times better than this song. So it's like, I'm happy. Like it's like I'm just happy creating. So I'm just saying I identify with you. Or like, whoa, there's there's no plateau in
Yeah,
sight.
Yeah, but like I believe in faith.
1000%. Yeah, I know you have to.
Well,
You
the-
have to if you keep moving, keep taking on bills, keep taking on endeavors, keep taking
Yeah.
on.
Okay. So this is actually becoming a
building.
theme in the last couple of episodes, which is interesting. But like, if you knew what you had to go through to get to where you are now, would you do it again?
No.
Yeah. See, because life
But-
is hard, everyone.
Because you wouldn't take it up front.
But like I just know like if,
Fuck.
I don't know if I had the same mindset back then, knowing how hard it went through, but it just goes to show you got to go through hard things to become better.
I know. I've been trying to like. We got in a fight yesterday. We might as well bring us into this. Yeah. And I'm not gonna bring in why we got into a fight, but we got into a fight, and the whole time I was there. There was like a tingle of like. You have a choice. Like I've been contemplating this idea. Like every time I get overwhelmed, like I have a choice. I have a choice to make right now. One is anxiety, and one is like breath and like grounding, and but I couldn't fucking get there yesterday. I just wanted to be mad, I guess, you know, like, but one of the themes through yesterday was like, what could I be like learning right now? You know, like, what is this?
When
How
you're in
is
pain,
this?
you want to learn all of a sudden.
Well, by myself, not with you. I was super immature. I'll admit that.
You know what?
Admit that
Shit
on
was
camera. I
just
don't
too
care.
good for a while. That's what happened. You ever get that? It's the upper limit problem. No, you don't understand. Because you're like, no, it's only good. I love that. But no, it's like we were just on harmony. We literally made a skit last week that started with "We're so in sync lately."
Yeah.
Like shit was just
We
too
were.
good for a while, and
Yeah.
humans are just like, I'm bored, drama, and it's
Yeah,
like
that makes it exciting.
it makes it exciting. And a cortisol addiction got like, you know how I kind of almost had a meltdown here today when shit was fucking up. As we're sitting down and talking.
Did it work out?
No, it always works out. I say that as I'm fucking going nuts. I'm like, no, everything's always working out. And I always know that. That's the highest truth. So I'm willing to soldier it through. I'm a soldier. But the patterning that happens, consider that, my friends. The patterning, the cortisol addiction that happens, the cycle, the perception of reality having to shock and scare you. That's what happens with media news programming as well. Like the whole circular cycle of just like fair. We end up adapting that in our lives. Like me and Winnie have been beefing for 2 days. That's my life partner. That's so scary. Like when things are like rough in that communication, and you're not thinking about this person with the same amount of like usual positive excitement.
Like, how can we think of that as divine when our emotional state feels like it's almost in survival?
Because it's all divine. Because it wouldn't hurt so much if we didn't love each other so much.
Oh, but when you're in it,
Yeah, but
how can you get there?
You are particularly stupid. I'm just kidding. We're still fighting. That's the joke. I love you. I'm just kidding.
That's just because you didn't have an answer.
Bars.
We might have to settle this right now. I think.
Please. I love you. You're good.
Yeah.
But it's better
Fuck.
you just have the argument.
Yeah.
And then Winnie wrote some good jokes today because makeup sex.
Yeah. And I actually wrote a joke about the problem yesterday that I haven't shown you yet.
Oh, nice. I love it. I got
juicy.
hit on. She hated it.
Yeah.
I liked it too much in the moment. It's okay. That's basically.
Who wouldn't?
That's the skinny of it. That's the
Yeah.
short and skinny.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
Everyone
everything
there.
was fine.
I got hit on. I liked it too much. It pissed her off. Like. Anyway, has that ever happened to you? Do you guys ever have civil war quarrel beefs?
Yeah, all the time. But like,
You go to the movies.
It's quick. We don't really, truthfully, like we get into arguments all the time. But yeah, Vanessa's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. You just get
She
over
is.
it.
It's awesome.
She is really.
When you
guys
drove
are
me to
fucking
my
so
show
cute.
that one day,
Dude.
and she called in the car, I
Winnie
was
would've
like,
been
man,
pissed.
we fucking
Hijacked
took your
her,
husband
man.
away from you. Like,
Drove us
it's
all
like
the
a
way.
weekend or some shit.
Winnie
Like,
does
it's
a
com-
warrior.
just like,
When he does comedy
I
shows
respect it,
in the
man.
fucking Yukon, where was it? So north in Markham.
it was so far away. I don't remember though where
and
it
our
was.
man
Do
is
you
a
remember?
prince.
Well, it wasn't that far. I think it was like Highway 7 or something.
Best attitude, thank you, love. Anyway, it was a pretty good show actually that night. It was
Yeah, it
it was
was.
got packed. Comedy clubs
Yeah?
are cool because people come to watch
Yeah, it was
comedy.
fun.
Yeah, you owned it.
Yeah,
There
it
was like
good.
100 people there. It was crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Fuck. Do you meditate?
Or have any daily
Like,
practices?
do you do affirmations? Like, it's really actually kind of blowing my mind. Like, like how you seem to be naturally in flow on a positive momentum. Is that the pressure of having kids? You just gotta like stay like big poppy mode.
Or is this coming from somewhere? Do you have an inspiration?
I don't know.
Are you Jesus reincarnated?
No, not at all. I honestly, I have negative, like I get upset just like everyone else, you know, like I have to catch myself, but yeah, like I don't know. I think you guys are portraying me to be like a bad,
all right.
Well, okay, here's a question, because no,
I'm trying to
seriously.
mine. I'm
No,
trying to mine
no,
information.
I'm just.
Here's a question, because before, you know now that you were going to have a mental breakdown, and Ben called you out on it, and
Oh, so good.
and so do you do that?
I love getting called out, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm halfway
I'm waiting.
there. I'm halfway there.
waiting. I'm gonna pounce on this guy with the love
Yeah.
as soon as with love. No.
Let me correct you this time.
I love it.
I'm talking like a medium. I'm talking if you go whatever or maybe. I'm like, no, it's only yes.
So do you do that with like all of your loved ones or everyone in your life?
Yeah, sometimes Vanessa doesn't like to hear it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
sometimes I don't like to hear it either, Vanessa.
she will not accept my wisdom, even if it's the wisest wisdom.
But it's rubbing off on my kids, which is good.
And then
That's
it's
so
getting
cool.
served back to you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It'll
I
be
love
cool.
it.
I feel like there's a whole bunch of kids learning this type of language,
The
like
language
in
is
like
more available.
yeah, like unlimited language and stuff. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Like what if you believe that you can do anything. Like I feel like athletes have that a lot. Like their parents are like, you can fucking, like there's no wavering confidence at all. It's like you can do this, and you have that belief in your mind from a young age. Like what happens to those people? Like do they? I mean, it's a lot of pressure
Billionaires.
to like be like, now you have to save the world, but like potentially like a lot of changes could happen really rapidly as our like sweet little kids' minds believe that they can do things.
They're growing up. As soon as you have access to a phone, you can start a business. Like you can just completely blast past any oppressive structures if that's your mind state.
Yeah, the guy that we had on on Tuesday, his 17-year-old was fucking flipping stuff.
Yeah.
He was finding stuff and flipping it. I would have never thought of that as a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you really want something, you can get it. But I mean, I know lots of things that I don't want to do. So
Of course.
I don't think I'm gonna waste my time doing it.
Yeah.
I don't want to
That's
say
cool.
I can't, but like deep down in my heart, I know I'm not gonna go play in the NBA. I don't have no desire to play. Exactly. But I mean, look at Kyle Lowry. Like, I mean, I know he's still pretty tall, but like compared to all those guys, I mean, somehow he was an all-star for so long. Like, he's a short guy. I don't know. I think there's shorter guys in the NBA. I don't know the names that well.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
there's
we
no
don't know
doubt.
sports very well either. We call them sports. All of them get pooled into sports.
I mean, I played football. I like football. I know football. I used to watch the Super Bowl.
But do you, like, if I said, like, what's the football team in Idaho?
There's no football team in Idaho. The closest one would be, I guess, Oakland Raiders.
All right, fine. I
Sacramento.
don't know if that's true or not
Sacramento.
because I don't know sports.
Or San Francisco 49ers. That'd be the closest. Yeah. Right?
I don't know. I have no
isn't
idea. You're
Idaho
talking
close?
to no sports people over
Idaho's
here.
on the west.
Yeah, but isn't it beside like Seattle,
California.
Washington?
It's right beside California.
Have you ever-
and then- yeah, Washington State's at the top left of it.
So it'd be
Ohio.
So it'd be Seattle.
It's Ohio, Idaho.
Seattle, there you go.
I don't know.
Everyone, now we
No.
know.
Pull up the map. Let's. Yeah.
Sure.
You gotta settle this.
Idaho.
I'm too competitive.
I think it goes Ohio, Idaho, in which case it would make San Francisco the closest. But if it goes Idaho, Ohio, then it would be the Seahawks.
What's your best place to smoke weed?
Yeah.
What's your favorite
sesh.
smoke
Sesh
place?
areas.
Truthfully, like I haven't been smoking as much, but it's always
Boo.
right in front of my house.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I'm always just driving around.
I know.
Like,
I
it's
know.
Do you smoke in a Tesla?
Growers never smoke enough.
I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah, we're looking at you, buddy.
Yeah,
we're looking
primo.
at you.
And
No,
the drip
I
is
definitely
funny.
smoke. I definitely smoke.
Yeah, we smoke. We smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When
you guys had a good sesh for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm gonna do a banjo just for legendary sake.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Bless. Yes.
Are you like a fan of like cannabis culture? Like, I don't know, like fucking Cheech and Chong and stuff.
Yeah. Do you fuck with weed shit?
Yeah.
But like not crazy.
Yeah.
That didn't sound enthusiastic.
But like, I don't really do like that much at all. Like, I mean, if you tell me, like, I'm actually quite boring. Like, I literally just.
You grow great weed.
Yeah,
And you're growing
I'm very
children,
immersed in
so
it.
Yeah, you have
I don't
to-
think that's boring.
How old are your kids?
So Charlotte is 5. She just turned 5. Noah is 3, and Samuel is 16 months.
Oh,
Charlotte.
so they're all becoming little people because
Yeah.
16 months is around the time where they stop being little potatoes, right? Like they start crawling and shit at that point.
Sam started crawling, I think, around 1 year, maybe even before that.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, he
See,
started
I know
walking
nothing
early.
about babies.
Under a year with no potato.
Maybe I could be
know.
wrong. I don't know.
It's honestly, it's the first year of baby having that I don't want to do. And the pregnancy, I would like to bypass that if at all possible, which I know it is. But like, yeah, give me a 1 year old, I guess. Give me when you can crawl.
But with our
Honestly-
genetics. It's like getting someone else to grow your weed for you.
Honestly, after like 3 months, I would say from 3 months to like a year, it's probably not, because like now they're not like crawling around or walking around, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not what, like it's tough or
like no, it's because
easy?
then they go to sleep, and then you once like like you always gotta like a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, you have to keep them busy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Vanessa because she's
Shout out
constantly there.
Vanessa.
But like, and then she also has to take care of Samuel, so like busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very busy.
Yeah,
And honestly,
I-
a
Respect.
3-year-old and 5-year-old,
Huge respect.
I would say it.
Wow, that's
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't want like not there's gonna be a lot of opinions maybe, but like, especially because Vanessa did a lot of the work. No, that's not true. I did a lot of work too. Like,
Of course.
but like
Both
Vanessa,
of you put in.
Vanessa is 100%. So,
bless Vanessa.
but I would say
Finesse.
when they get older, you have to make sure you're around more. So
Right.
You have more time. So I don't want to say it's more work because like it's not everything's work, but you got to enjoy your work. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like being around my kids is everything. So like,
Yeah.
that's why you do everything and like.
Yeah, I've heard it's a pretty crazy love.
Yeah. It's something we've not experienced yet, but it sounds really fun. I don't have to put my belly at risk.
Thank
though,
you.
that's for sure.
I
No
didn't
risk.
actually know Cognoscente came out with this blunt experience.
Yeah,
That's very cool. So similar thing, right? Like treat yourself every now and
Yeah,
again.
that blunt
folks.
is really nice.
Like if you brought that pack to like an intimate gathering, you would definitely be the coolest person at that intimate gathering.
Oh, dude, if you say, hey, you guys want to go up, blaze up one of these blunts always get people excited.
Yeah, blunts do good.
And maybe you can wear some pearls.
Yeah, Winnie, you should wear some pearls to this party.
Yeah. And maybe one of those hats.
Bro, what's your favorite M track?
Oh yeah, these fucking guys. So Ben was kind enough to drive me to my show, which was like 75 minutes away from where we live, but we didn't know that. And these guys were going track for track on deep cuts of hip hop. And Ben's like, "What about you, Winnie?" And I'm like, "Oh, do you have any Doja Cat?" Like, holy. Okay, yeah, go ahead. What's your favorite M song?
That's a hard one.
I know. When you were telling all that good shit, I was hearing Till I Collapse in my head.
Yeah, I like the, but I don't know that. I don't know if that's a favorite.
No.
That's definitely a good one.
I mean, Nate Dogg. But yeah, no pressure. You can marinate on it.
I also think you did you put on You're a Superstar for me? That's a banger. Everyone knows that's a banger.
Love
Inc.
Yes,
You're
it's a
a
feel-good
superstar.
song.
It is a feel good song.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Ugh.
Hip hop is great.
What are you rolling there?
The horchata?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got obsessed with that shit
Yeah, I'll
too.
throw another one of these. I know, I just keep them spinning.
Okay, so you grow for our friends here, and then you grow just to grow, like you grow just to see what's up.
Yeah,
with some flour.
Yeah, let's revisit that because we're going like side chill culture, but this here, what's your vision for like maybe making a Treez skew? Is that the overhanging intention of that question?
Oh, yeah.
I want to poke around that too because, like I said, you're producing mad beats. You know what I mean? Like and like saying like signing them with and it's great to have those beautiful, very reputable relationships. But do you ever see a future vision where you work on your own front end branding skew kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always thinking, but like, it's not anytime soon right now. I just feel like we're still small.
Yeah.
But one thing, me and my business partner just got another spot in Kitchener.
Ooh, congratulations.
Nice.
That it's not official yet, but
All right.
it's
Well,
another
we'll
spot.
take the congratulations back until it is.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
no, no.
official yet.
It's hey, what's the positive? What's the positive? What's the motherfucking yes, it is.
100%.
It's as good as done.
Yeah, no,
It's as good as done.
Everything's great. Like there's not like it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
But
I love that. But yeah, you're putting up heat right now, and that feels good. Period.
This tastes so fucking good.
That's
Holy.
banjo. It's so amazing.
Take that back.
So how do you find these crazy strains? Like getting back to that, I think I got high. It was like banjo when it was like bam, Joe, and then it was like, what did you let me try? Apple fritter.
Oh yeah,
You
which
mentioned
which is currently
fucking insane.
North Star's North Star.
High North.
High North,
High North.
which is currently High North's pick of the week,
Yeah.
which is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Congratulations, apple fritter. We tried it. It tastes so fucking good. Holy.
There's a sweet member of the community, Jake, who works at Sticky Nugs, and he saw on the story, and he was like, dude, that apple fritter. He's like, I can almost smell it through the screen. And I was like, yeah, you should try this other one too. And he's like, no, it's the apple fritter. And I'm like, I hung onto a butt of it, rolled it up, smoked it with him.
That's awesome.
And he was just like so happy. It was great.
Yeah, he
Fucking
even put on his story like that it like
apple fritter toasted me out.
put him to bed. Yeah.
How are you finding these like really
we're
cool,
just-
unique strains?
So we just keep cracking seeds and just keep pheno hunting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what that
What's
process
the process
is.
of pheno hunting like you?
So you have to find good packs of seeds.
How?
Number one. And you just whatever reputation the seed bank had. So like I have a seed bank that I had to bring in because you only get one shot to bring it in. And then
What do you mean you only get one shot to bring it in?
so like when you first get your license, Health Canada only gives you one opportunity. And so
It's nothing that's going to be better or worse than anything else.
yeah, but anyways, we brought a big seed bank in and we just continue to crack seeds, but like obviously it takes a lot of space to do this because you got to sacrifice the yield that like
So hold on.
So you have this bank of seeds. I've never actually processed those words together because I've heard them before,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
So sorry, what did they make you do? You can only bring one bank in. Why? What's going on there? To germinate? To what's the holding? Can you clarify that? I don't know.
well no just I forget what the letters are. What's the name of the letter? The one where you declare all your seeds. that you-
Declaration of genetics.
yeah, your declaration of
At the time
genetics.
licensing, you only get one time to bring in genetics that you're going to be brought in. Otherwise, after that, you have to get your genetics from another licensed
Yeah,
producer.
exactly.
So,
So-
it's your one shot to bring stuff over from the legacy side, introduce new genetics. You have one chance, 24 hours, get the letter in with the inventory.
And you can't grow anything for market that hasn't been declared. Like from those seeds, like you
Correct,
you
yeah.
could. Oh my god,
But
That
there's new
sounds
license-
insane.
trippy.
There's new license holders always coming out, so they're always declaring more and more.
Ni-
and more.
and you can clone after that. Like that's the
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
So
that's the
bringing that
yield.
in must have been a really big investment.
What?
Bringing a seed bank in? If you
Yeah.
want your bank to be full,
Yeah, because some seeds are like expensive. Like some packs go for like $500.
yeah. Oh, fuck.
Fuck. How many seeds
is
is
what
in a
it is.
$500 pack?
Well, it depends on the brand. So like sometimes you only get like 10, 12 seeds.
Fuck. And then you grow one successfully and then you clone it. Is that the common process? Or,
Yeah.
or is that your, I don't know how much behind the curtain I'm pulling back here.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
Just for, it's just fascinating because it's been such a good intention of ours is to like understand more about growing, and it's just often like hard to grasp, but it's also so simple once you understand it. Now I can't remember the question.
You duplicate it, so you
Yeah,
get the pheno that you want,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you duplicate
clone
it.
That's exactly how you do it.
basically, and then you just like make a bunch
So-
of different plants from like snippings of the one
So okay,
that
yeah,
worked.
so like how basically how you phenohunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you take X amount of seeds. So obviously the more amount of seeds, so let's just say 50 seeds to give you an idea of how much space it takes. You want to crack 50 seeds. Each one of those plants, let's just say you have 100% germination rate. And then you
Is
have
that
to,
common?
Depends on the seeds, depends on how
Okay.
old they are.
Sorry.
Like there's lots of, sometimes I've had none, sometimes I've had 100%.
Okay.
But mainly I'm probably at like 80 to 90%.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
germinate them. That takes
100% germination
yeah,
rate.
So like by the time you can actually take a cut, it's probably like if you're taking it really, really soon, 3 weeks depending on what plant it is. But like that's soon. Like that's if you want to do it as quickly as possible. You only get like 1 or 2 cuts off of it. So that means like if you're growing 50 seeds, you get to 50 little plants. You take, I always try and take at least 2 or 3 if you're going to do it. So that takes up more space. Well, just to make sure like you have roots, right? So you don't want to take the cut, put it into flower. Because once you put it into flower, it's harder to get back to a veg state. So anyways.
What do you mean it's harder to get
complex.
back to a veg state from flower?
So like, it's just because it's triggered. The flower process is triggered. So like that's by changing the light cycle. Mostly every genetic does that, but there are some genetics that'll do it automatically. It doesn't matter the light cycle, but
Fuck.
Yeah,
How
it's
do you
really like
know?
how do you even, how is there even weed? That's what I'm
How
wanting
do
to
you
say.
gauge this shit?
so like
That's
let's
tricky.
just say you take the cuts from the 50 plants.
You should be paying for your weed. You see this shit?
Well, once you take the cuts from those plants, you have to keep those cuts in a different room and then put those 50 plants that now have sprouted from the seed. And then you put them in, this is the quickest way of doing it. Put them in a flowering room. You flower them all out. I mean, depending on if they're feminized, even if they're feminized, you got to keep an eye on them that they're not growing
Like they're
pollen
just a little
sacs.
feminine, like they're hanging like that?
Feminized means flower, so that's the
Oh, so like this.
that's the bud you smoke. It only comes from the
Female.
The
female plant,
ladies.
yeah.
Shout out my ladies.
So like that's obviously the one you desire, depending on if you want to keep a male for breeding or whatever you want to do with it. But mainly it's the females. So once, let's just say you have 30% of 50. So 15 off the 50 is 35.
Yeah.
So now you're left with 35. So you get rid of all the cuts in the mother room. But now you only have 55 or 35 plants growing in that room, which now you've lost canopy space if you don't have of just the males that you just grew.
Right.
So those ones are all in the garbage now. And then now you continue to grow.
That's
Once
wild.
they're all done, you can either test all 35, but I usually don't test all 35. I pick
Yeah,
to see
visually.
which ones are the best ones.
Nice.
Well, I don't actually get to see it because tests can be pricey if you're testing every single one.
So this is not like regular hunting where you go out and shoot the animal and then you get to eat the animal after. It's like you have to fully grow it all. Like that's a huge process.
Yeah. But that's like a fun part.
In
And-
your seed bank, so do you still have seeds in your seed
Yeah.
bank? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we're constantly growing more seeds. And I actually I'm hoping to do a breeding project soon.
What does that mean?
So like you make more seeds, essentially.
You'd make more seeds.
Yeah, but it's risky because you got to play with pollen.
Ooh.
Why is playing with pollen risky?
Because if you play with the pollen, you might get the seeds inside the bud, which is then no good.
Why do you have to play with pollen? Because it has to make a baby?
Yeah, that's the way you're going to get the seed, right?
The pollen's like secret.
And then how many seeds do you generally get in this breeding experiment?
Well, if you do it carefully, which I mean, it's very hard to do carefully, you need, you really don't, if you can manage to just pollinate like one bud, that's really all you need. But like, it's very hard. You gotta like be very careful. You don't get it anywhere else.
Whoa, trippy.
So it must feel so good when you get like the momentum of a good harvest going. Mm-hmm. Like when you see the rip-roaring buds, the colas are staring you in the face like a morning boner, just like strong. And you're just like, I did a good cultivation. No wonder this whole thing fucking is addictive, bro. You would want to rinse and repeat. That's so satisfying. To get that process right.
Yeah, I know it is. But you're always trying to make it better the next time.
Yeah.
Of course. And the amount of shit you got to take along the way, you got to eat shit sometimes. You're talking about that with comedians. It's like you say, yeah, it's common to lose about 15 out of 50 plants. It's like, it's outrageous. Imagine if you bought groceries from a store and then you're like, by the time I get to the car, I'll have most of this kind of. Fuck this. Fuck you guys. Stay alive. Fuck you, plant. And you're just like, it's okay. So, how do you recycle all this stuff? All the stuff, the plant waste matter. You got a big compost? You hiding dead bodies in there?
Yeah, well, there's methods. So our method is...
Methods?
We mulch it and mix it with kitty litter. And that's what you have to do.
You mulch it?
What?
And so
mix it with
kitty litter? For cats?
For all the leaves that we take off.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have to mulch it all, so we have a mulcher in the back, in the receiving area. And we put all the leaves in it, it breaks it all up. Then after we get the kitty litter, we mix it in with the kitty litter, and then we throw it in the dumpster.
Why kitty litter?
I don't know, to be honest. That's what it's approved by Health Canada, so like that's just what we do, and like it's worked for now. I think I've heard there's getting easier ways, but
Hold on. What is the intention and reason for having kitty litter mixed with the mulch?
it's for the smell, I think.
The smell of mulch?
Yeah, the smell. I don't know.
Like it's the rotting biomatter, basically.
Mix it with kitty litter, Health Canada says.
What a tremendous cost, kitty litter, no?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, at
it's the
Loblaws,
game.
it's
Like,
like
that's-
fucking $40.
Well, you're not buying fucking retail size kitty litter. You're buying like Purina bags, giant shit rocks, or you're just shipping it in from a beach. Just steal sand. Who cares if it's a kitty litter? Just steal sand.
What do you think is going right in the industry right
Yeah,
now?
let's leave with positive. I don't want to leave. I'm sad it's almost over.
I think like brands are realizing that like a lot of the quality bud is coming from the micros, or at least the craft small.
Let's
craft.
go. Facts.
That's how it can
family.
only be.
That's how it
And,
can
like,
only be.
How
Because
it can only be.
there's a lot of good growers.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen and like I keep hearing of that like
Talent.
and again I'm gonna go back to the THC numbers. They don't hit like they only hit like 21-22%.
Which is perfect.
So like they can't sell it, but like the bud is amazing.
Yeah.
Can we
A
all
real
just-
treat.
if you're watching this and you agree with this, just toss in the comments like yes.
Most of the people that watch this would agree with this.
We want
need to reach
terps.
other people. Send this to your friends.
We want terps.
Send this to your family.
We want terps. We want terps. Yeah.
If you meet someone at a party and they say they smoke weed, send this to them.
Oh, high THC, bro. Oh my God, there was that shout out that funny circulating meme on Instagram that was like fake terps are for fat boys. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, there's fake terps going around. Someone told me that.
Dude,
too. That's
the
crazy.
botanical terps or whatever, like, I don't want to say names here or create any beefs, but I'm just saying, like, there's these things that are packed with too much flavor to the point where you're like, this much concentration of anything isn't that good for you. It can't be. And we don't know information about the short term. And I had one conversation with one guy who's putting them out, and I'm like, what do you think of the long-term effects of botanical terps and taking in that much, like, for this just for flavor? Are you to cover up shitty bud? You're selling, you know, kind of like, it's like packing the hot dog water in somewhere and then like just flavoring it up with something. And then he's like, well, what's the difference between butter and margarine? And I'm like, in my chef mind, I'm like, everything. Like I buy $9 butter, but I wouldn't touch margarine ever because it's basically paint. And I'm like, oh,
Kind of tastes good though.
it kind of tastes good though. Fucking exactly. It kind of tastes good though for a minute and kind of makes your throat feels like you were sucking a fucking desert's cock for 5 hours. Anyway, and I'm just like, and in my mind, I processed it as just how I heard it, and I said, "That's your statement on it, butter versus margarine." He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Got it." So, like, yeah, anyway, I don't know where we went there, but it would be really nice to have the market honor.
Hey, what's right about the
I'm
industry?
sorry, I'm talking shit. Motherfucker, I need a Ben in my life to tell me to be
Okay,
positive.
but also I just wanted to go back and say that when I did this too when I was in retail, and I'm noticing that even some of the most brilliant bud tenders have now developed the habit in their speech to lead with THC when they tell someone about a
Because
product
buyers-
because everyone's asking. So it's not your fault. It's just something that you say over and over, and you're like, fuck, let me tell you before you ask. You know what I mean? But we got to stop doing that.
Gotta stop. That's basically what I
Gotta
was
stop
saying.
doing
Like,
that.
the botanical terps and the THC.
If they
leading-
ask, obviously,
the
but like if they don't
dispensaries-
ask, that's not what you should be selling with.
But the dispensaries have it hard too.
They do.
Like if they
Hey,
gotta play the game as well, sometimes
sure.
too, right? Like they gotta compete with the dispensary.
They can't say-
and this
down.
education
They
just
can't
trickles
say-
slowly as people, start to make little minor changes. So
Anyway.
But there is some good weed that does legitimately test at
for sure,
like a 30%. Right?
yeah.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think most black market stuff is tested up there, and that's doing pretty
you
well.
think so?
You think is it not high in THC?
I think
No, I'm
they
not
sit
saying it's
around
not
like
high, I'm just
25
like-
usually.
25, yeah.
25, 26, which I think is high.
Yeah.
I think that is high.
For me, it's funny because now people are like, it started, right? Like 2020, it was like 17% THC, man. It's like, all right. And then you got up to 20, and it was like, whoa, 20. And it's 21, then 25, and now that's nothing. People are at 30. I'm like, fucking next year's gonna be 4. Actually, a guy said to me at fucking Hall of Flowers, he was like 42% terps. I'm like, fuck out of here. Like next month's gonna be 100% THC, bro.
No, that's what it was. It was 42% THC because it was infused.
Yeah, sorry, I said terp. Yeah, 42%
crazy.
THC. and
What,
I'm
like, that's not what people who use the plant are looking for. Like, they're generally
I mean, everyone
speaking.
uses the plant. Good for them if they use the plant. But honestly, we got to start
Don't
dialing
go
back.
get fucked up on it. Use it with intention.
Holistic intention. That's our advice.
Anyway,
Dude, you're such a chill hang. I feel like we yammered more. Sorry.
No,
I appreciate you.
I'm just getting high.
Me too,
I know,
man.
yeah.
I got some more of this
that's what
horchata
that's
coming.
what happens
Horchata?
here.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to leave the people with, Ben?
Yeah.
And if not, where can we find you?
And give me that banjo.
Oh, it's pretty much.
Well, that's okay. Right to the.
Well, like where can you find the bud?
Where can we
Yeah,
find
tell us-
Treez? How can we support you?
Everything and everywhere. Anything.
I'd say by Carmel.
Nice.
That's what basically
And
what
follow
I'm doing.
Treez.
Good
Yeah.
people.
And we'll put those links. Well, we can't link to Carmel, but you can find it. But we'll put the Instagram. Go follow.
Ben, a legend in the game, building up. So good to see you.
Thanks for sharing your
I-
positive attitude
Yeah.
with the community.
It's good to connect and document you at this level right now.
you.
I know that the future has really great things in store, brother, and it's nice to.
Yeah, we're
be
gonna
riding
do a
along.
follow-up.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to
for
do it
sure.
again. Love. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Thanks
oh,
for
I'm
coming.
sad it's over.
I know, it's bullshit.
Let's just keep talking.
Let's just start again.
Okay, you guys go smoke some weed. Subscribe to this. Send nudes to those you're allowed to. Follow Treez Botanicals.
Smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube videos tell me to do when they're like when it's like grow your following. They always say you don't say subscribe, say smash that subscribe.
Smash
button.
that like button.
So
Smash
fuck-
that share
Let's
button.
see if it works. If you aren't subscribed,
Stone.
smash it.
Do you guys
And
wanna
I'll
smash
see you
it?
next week.
Love. Bye.
You a stoner? That's cool.
So
wait.
good.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills. Well, it's helped me feel okay about my shitty social skills. It doesn't make my social skills better, but it sure does make sitting in that awkward moment in a social interaction a lot more bearable. You know, that moment where no one in the group has anything left to say, and you desperately want to yell at all of them, just say something. Being high makes that hilarious and not torture.
Yo. It's Ellevan from Anger Town. These plants just helped me chill out. Found focus. Found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective. More progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. And whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And that's Ralph.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk that they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. There's so much information, motherfuckers acting they forgot about Treez.
Technically completed the session 3 times already. Your hips hurt, your bed's about to be Lake Superior, but you're determined. So you're like, just one more! Does no one do that? You do that? Okay, perfect. Okay, so that was me today.
'Cause I can see your energy, and I'm waiting on your frequency to rise. Before you interact with me, before you collab with me or try, better get up on your frequency. If you tryna see me, share the same space or breathe anywhere near where I be. If you tryna get by, then your vibe gotta rise. Yeah.